gobble, you fantasy football turkeys. It's one of my favorite shows of the year, the annual 3 and Out Thanksgiving Fantasy Football Feast.
Oh,
I'm your
so
host.
much,
What'd you say?
so many words.
I know. I'm your host, Wayne Turkey Leg Cavati, and I'm joined by your favorite co-hosts, Chris Fee Yam Ano and Mike the Sauce Dutton.
Oh, I
I do
like
want
it.
to. I want to start out. I want to start out by saying that I am thankful for this episode every year. Like a lot of people our age, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving used to be a well, for lack of a better word, shit show when we were younger. And
Correct.
then we got families, we got older, and those that Wednesday night becomes a nuisance. And for the last 6 years, we've been able to celebrate our Wednesday night together, and it's fun. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful for that. And I said something nice because now I'm going to say something bad.
There you go.
Wait.
Dutton asked me at the beginning of the season to start every show with a rant, and I only did it once, but I got it. I got to say something. Um, Roger Goodell is going out of his way to kill the sport that we love. And I'm going to give you a few examples as to why. The last few weeks of football have been some of the most unwatchable football that like literally 2 weeks ago. I told you guys last week's show, I didn't watch any football. I didn't like, I kept turning it on and I'm like, what did I just watch? It's since the 1987 strike season. It's that bad. Superstars are hurt, and all the idiots talking heads out of there that this is the parity we wanted in the NFL. Any given Sunday. That's why they play. No, no. What we have is an NFL with one good team, one great team, I should say, and that's your Los Angeles Rams. Everyone else is slightly better than mediocre. Everyone else is slightly better than me. We are in week 13, and 40% of the NFL has losing records. 40% of the NFL has losing records. But the Rams, they can't be denied. Everyone else is a hot mess, whether it's injuries or coaching, whatever the case is. But what was it that brought on this rant today on Thanksgiving? And it's Roger Goodell once again. He took a time-tested tradition and he moved the 12:30 kickoff to 1 p.m. Why does that grind my gears, you ask? Because I, like many Americans, love going from seeing Santa's fat ass at the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade right in the 12 hours of football. Now there's a delay. And you know what happens when there's a delay? If you have other family there, someone's going to turn on a stupid Christmas movie, and then you're going to get sidetracked. And before you know it, it's going to be halftime of the Lions game, and Roger get a. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Last year's Lions-Bears game, which started at 12:30, was the most viewed 12:30 game in Thanksgiving history with 37.5 million people watching it. So Roger Goodell goes and changes it. Why did he go and change it? Because he wants to stick with the regular schedule. He said he wants the West Coast, the Pacific time people. He wants them to be able to wake up at 10 o'clock and not 9:30. Fee, Dutton, with Roger Goodell's brilliant international games, what time do we wake up to watch football?
9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern. So what time are the people in California watching international games?
6:30 in the
6:30
morning.
Pacific.
All right. So, but what he's worried about is a half hour on a proven equation. We've never seen a commissioner in sports talk more in circles and do harm for the game than Roger Goodell. He signed that killer television deal, so the owners love him because they make millions of dollars no matter what. But everything we've watched, this is supposed to be a league focused on player safety, and we're watching. We're about to talk about more major injuries that we don't have this week. Boys, I'm tired of it. You wanted a rant every year and every week, and Roger Goodell just makes it easy. We could talk about injuries, or you two could chime in on what I had to say, but it's all up to you, or we could just get right to the injuries because, it's player safety NFL. So let's go talk about injuries.
Really quick. One thing. First of all, your rant was amazing. And second of all, you're right about the player safety because the Lions are playing their third game in 11 days.
Really?
And
Right?
they had to
Yeah,
go get a guy out of retirement, for crying out loud. There's centers coming out of retirement because they have no one to play football.
Yeah, because they went Monday night, Sunday, Thursday, Fee.
It's all about player safety, though. Just remember that. All about player safety.
Wow.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about injuries. Dutton, you finally have, it looks like Bucky Irving coming back. You finally have Chris Godwin coming back. But guess what? You don't have anyone to throw him the football. Why?
Yes.
Because Baker Mayfield's hurt. What does this do for your Bucks?
A lot, and it's not good. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater might be a great high school coach, but I
Right.
don't.
Wasn't he coaching? That's what I thought he was doing. And now he's playing football.
He was coaching a high school team. He got in trouble for driving players home or something because they didn't have rides and
Oh,
impermissible benefits in high school. That doesn't sound good.
no.
And now he's the quarterback. It's bad. I don't know. I don't understand why he was in the game to throw a Hail Mary anyway at that point, but I guess he was hurt anyway.
Yeah, he was already hurt. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't
You
think
really
it
need
mattered.
you really need Tommy DeVito as your backup quarterback and
There
not
you go.
Teddy Toogle.
You know who we need? We need Jameis Winston is who we need.
He's my guy. You can't have him.
I
Yeah.
know. It's
Uh,
it's gonna be interesting. I mean, it sucks because like you said, people are getting healthy. Everyone said when the Bucks get healthy, when the Bucks get healthy, and
yeah.
here we are, and now we're not.
The most important player is hurt.
Right.
Uh, Joe Burrow's back this week, so that's exciting. Unfortunately, he only has Jamar Chase to throw to because T. Higgins is now hurt. Fee, does
Yeah.
that hurt Jamar Chase not having T. Higgins on the other side?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, it probably helps him because he's going to have one of those 23 target games that we've seen the Bengals throw up. Because I don't know, I know it's Joe Burrow's first game back from a toe injury, and they may want to try to rein him in and not have him throw so many passes. But I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball very much. And I think
I
that
agree.
he's going to have to throw the ball at least 30 times, if not 40. And who is going to be the beneficiary of that? It's going to be Jamar Chase. No
Yeah.
T. Higgins. Maybe Mike Gesicki a little bit, right? But I mean, really, you're looking at Jamar Chase like times 10.
Yeah. That's funny. I saw a lot of people pick up Mike Gesicki this week, and I'm like, really? Like, just because T. Higgins? I was going to ask both of you what you thought about Burrow's return this week. And I kind of agree with you, Fee. It's like something you want to take it easy, but I don't think they're going to be able to run. And I think he's going to throw it 40 times. Like, he's just going to chuck it.
Yep.
What do you think, Dutton?
I mean, here's the thing. I was questioning why they're bringing Burrow back, but there's also the other side of that where, I mean, if they run the table, they make the playoffs,
They
right?
do.
And
They can win the division still.
right. And we've always said, like, we get angry when coaches kind of throw in the towel, and now here the Bengals aren't throwing the towel, but it's also kind of shocking that they're not, like with the potential for more injury and the defense is terrible. And
That's
but
the main problem, right? Is that they don't even have a defense and they're still going to try to
Yeah.
right.
playoff.
Pull off this like we're gonna win every game 48-40 or something. Like it's
Yeah, pretty much.
crazy. But fantasy wise, I think it's great. I think it's great for Jamar Chase. I think it's great if you have Joe Burrow. Like Wayne and I were smart enough to grab him off the trash heap when people dumped him in our
Yeah.
league that we're in. Like it's crazy. So yeah.
Alvin Kamara's out. Was he still a viable weekly fantasy starter? Is this a big deal that Alvin Kamara's hurt?
Well, Dutton saying no. He kind of wasn't, right? He wasn't putting up any kind of regular fantasy numbers. Um, but he was someone had gotten hurt or something, and then he was supposed to be the guy, and then he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
And now all they have left is Devin Neal.
Yeah.
Although Taysom Hill seems to be getting healthier too. So and Taysom Hill has gotten a lot of touches recently, which is interesting for fantasy because he's technically a tight end, but he throws the ball 5 times a game. He runs the ball 10 times a game. He catches the ball. He gets at least 6 targets a game, and so I mean the guy's everywhere.
He's the Kevin Mitchell of fantasy football.
Yeah. Good
So
reference,
so
Kevin
he's
Mitchell.
definitely a viable guy. Devin Neal certainly probably is going to be a viable guy, just because there is no other guy behind him for the Saints. And the Saints' schedule coming up here is awfully easy when you look at it on paper, anyway.
Right.
So I mean, it could be interesting because it is Tyler Shugg So who knows?
Right.
Uh, but they are playing some not great teams defensively. So it could be an interesting final weeks here for the Saints.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about some people coming back. We already talked a little bit about Burrow. Fever, I'm going to start with you because it looks like Jackson Dart is back. I get that he's playing a tough Patriots defense, but it's also his first Monday Night Football game.
I don't know that he's necessarily back. He's
You
still
don't think so?
technically he's still technically in concussion protocol. He
Hmm.
is practicing,
Yes, in
but
full.
not on a full basis.
Oh, it said
And
in full.
oh, did it say in full?
Yeah,
Oh, all right. Well, but he is technically
he
still
is. And yes,
he's still technically in the concussion protocol. Here's what I'm going to tell you. As a Giants fan, I hope he does not play
I
because the
agree with you.
Giants have a bye next week.
Yep.
So why are you going to play unless you think okay maybe all right we'll play him and gives him an extra week of rest in between this game and the next game. You could kind of look at it that way. But my thought is he hasn't played in almost 3 weeks now anyway. You give him another week plus another week on top of that because the week before plus the week after and now he's sat for almost 5 weeks, between 5 and 6 weeks, and that's like a really good amount of time for someone who had a concussion and who's had concussions before in college, by the way.
right.
So, um, I would prefer that he sat. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. If he clears concussion protocol, I think there's no chance. I think he plays. I think
Yeah.
there's no chance they sit him. I think he's just going to end up playing. Hopefully, he's good enough to go. And then, maybe that extra week of rest in between this game and the next because of the bye week is helpful for him. Who knows? I'm not sure. But if he does play, he's definitely in the discussion for being a starting quarterback on your fantasy roster for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine what Jackson Dart, a healthy Jackson Dart, would do on his first Monday night game. He's just going to go out there and be a madman.
And the
Uh,
Patriots have injuries.
and the
And
Patriots have
here's the other
injuries.
thing, really quick, on your point, Wayne. I think he would be a madman. But let's not forget who could be the madman, and it's Jameis Winston. And when those lights are shining bright, he shines like he does. And it might be snowing, and it's supposed to snow here in
Is it?
North Carolina
Yeah.
Monday night into Tuesday. So if it's
Hmm.
supposed to snow here, that means there's a good chance it might be snowing where the Patriots Giants game is playing. And we know what happened the last time Jameis played in the snow. The man went crazy.
Oh, I love. I get to play in the snow. He's so
Yo,
happy.
there's
He's like a little
nothing
kid.
better.
Well, okay. Before we get to the other injuries, let's go to the next question on the spreadsheet because that was a perfect segue. Fee, you seemed okay with it last week.
I
I
hated
mean,
it.
it happened immediately. Dutton was like, "Why the hell didn't they call the field goal? Why are they still throwing?" And you said because the Giants are playing for the draft pick, and you're
We,
like,
we were watching the game and we were having the
It's
conversation that has
listen,
been.
listen. It's not that I was okay with it. It's just that I was telling you what they were doing.
But Malik Neighbors, who is
Yeah.
easily your best player, called out the Giants. He's like, "What am I watching here? Like, this is ridiculous." So,
Yeah.
is this another problem with the NFL? Like, are we in the NBA era of where it is okay to blatantly tank? And like, I'm not saying it hasn't happened in the past where teams have tanked. That was overtly obvious what they were doing. And that was painful to watch because they could have won that game. Faith.
Yeah, so I know that you think that it's obvious that they're trying to blatantly tank. I don't think that's the case. Mike Kafka has no um what's the word I'm looking for here?
Brains?
It doesn't matter. No, brains. No, it doesn't matter to him. He's an interim coach. He's
He
not even
has no,
he's
yeah,
not
he has
hired
no
as a
skin in the game. He has
right. It
nothing.
doesn't
Right.
it doesn't matter. So he's just playing to win the game.
Fair.
He thinks, okay, we score a touchdown here, the game's over. And it
Yeah.
is. The game's over. They scored, that's it. Now, they didn't, which sucks. And then Detroit did what they did. They drove down the field. They were on the 6 yard line. They kicked the 59 yard field goal
Longest in history for the team.
for the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for the Lions. But my point is I don't think Kafka was thinking about, oh, we should tank because we need a better draft pick this coming year. I think he was like, oh, well, I don't really have any. Not that he doesn't have skin in the game because he does. The words are escaping me right now, but He just didn't. It
It's
doesn't
because
benefit
it's
him.
because it's the most bonehead move because you said it. If he's playing to win the game, then don't freaking throw the ball. Run the ball 4 times. You're
Yeah.
on the 3 yard line. You
Especially the
force
Lions, right? You're not giving the
right.
Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions the football with any time on the clock.
Right. Like so you run the ball and if even if you're like okay, you turn around and you say we're running the ball 4 times. We're either winning or they're getting the ball back with 6 seconds on the clock or whatever it was. So whether he has an invested amount of energy in the Giants or if he's coaching for next year, I'm looking at him and I'm like, this man doesn't even know how to clock manage. Like he
Yeah,
does it like, like it was terrible. That ball should never have left Jameis's hands.
I agree.
Even if Jameis runs around, waste time. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, back to the healthy returns real quick. Dutton, Bucky Irving coming back. You think it's like a Godwin situation last week, or do you think that they're gonna give him a little more run?
I don't think he's going to be on a pitch count like Godwin. I do think that they are going to be cautious with him, but I also think as needed they're going to. I mean, Turner helps, right? Turner's production helps the fact that they
Tucker.
don't. Tucker, I mean, sorry,
Yeah, Sean
Tucker's.
Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker's right production is what I'm trying to say. Tucker's production over the last few weeks is helpful that they don't have to rely solely on Bucky. Rashad White has fallen off the face of the earth, like
Yeah,
so. Um, It'll be interesting. I mean, they have a really like their schedule opens up, and we said it way back at the beginning of the year that the Bucks had a rough go of it, the middle of their schedule, and it's been brutal. I mean, but now they have the Cardinals at home, then they get the Panthers twice, they have the Saints, they have the Falcons at home. Like, I don't know if they have another game against a team that scares me if Baker's healthy, but there's
if
the
Baker's
big is if right there, right? Because Bucky's fantasy value depends on Baker playing
sure.
because Bucky gets a lot of receptions, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and defenses don't
and
have to stack
yep,
the box. You
right,
know?
right, 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 right.
Amarian Hampton is practicing. He's still limited, but the window is open for his return. Do we think he comes back? Because it's a juicy matchup to get him going. Fee, you're nodding.
Well, I think I don't know if he comes back this week. I don't know what his health situation is. I think he's going to come back within a couple of weeks for sure, and I think he's going to be extremely helpful and useful in fantasy for anybody that still has him. So that I
Yeah,
think that's going to be a fantastic situation for him.
me and
And
Dutton are two of them.
I mean, seriously, our team could become a wrecking
We
ball.
could score 160 points a week if we get everyone healthy.
I mean, Joe Burrow's about to come back. Amarian Hampton's about to come back. Like, what? And people were like, wait, what? And we won a game last week we had no business winning.
Yeah, sorry, Tim. Tim listens to the show every week. Sorry. I text him.
Sorry, buddy.
I text him and we won. It's just for the listeners out there. We won, what was it, 102.3 to
We
101.8?
won by less than a point. It was,
Yes.
and like
And
it
I
was a
text him that normally I feel bad about wins like this, but not this year. I'm like, I take a win any way I could get it this year. Screw
And to
fantasy
be
football.
fair, for the listeners at home, like Wayne and I literally are holding this team together with band-aids.
Yeah. But now hopefully everyone's back. I mean, even we even have the healthiest. I mean, we even have one of the best wide receivers in football who's healthy, and he gets suspended for spitting on Ramsey.
Right. And we had
We could not, and
We had
A-Chain was
Devon
on a
A-Chain on a
bye.
bye.
Like we could not catch a break. We even joked that Tim got us on, and he was getting a bye because he's getting our fifth stringers, and we
We were
somehow,
hoping to score 80 points. That
yeah.
was our goal, to score 80 points.
Um, One thing, let's turn it up here. We're gonna go some Thanksgiving gobble gobble. One thing, or it could what give us something fantasy football wise you're thankful for. Dutton, start with you.
Okay, so it goes way back to the three of us sitting at that amazing outdoor venue in Denver doing fantasy. And I turned to Fee and I said, am I about to draft Puka in the second round? Because that's what happened. And then 7, 8, maybe 10 rounds later, I said, I'm going to take Matthew Stafford as my backup quarterback. And here I am, and I am thankful for that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is again, they're the one great team. They have great players everywhere. Even their punter, Ethan Evans, out of D2 Football Wingate. Come on, he's a superstar.
North
But
Carolina's own Wingate.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a great combo. And I don't think you lucked out because you were puka since like June. So I
Right,
don't
because
think you
I
lucked.
was hoping to get him in the first round, not
Right.
the second
Yeah.
round. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah, but
fell
then,
to
but then, but then Jamar Gibbs fell to you
in
with
the
the
first round.
Yeah.
with the seventh pick.
Six,
Makes
six
sense.
pick, six
Fine,
pick.
sixth pick. Like,
Still,
oh God.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
We have a dumb league. You want to know what? Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. What I gotta look at this. I gotta say this on
Saquon
air.
Barkley is the biggest bust in the first round. Taco
Well,
was there with us. Love you,
we
Denver,
we
and love
we
you,
we
Taco.
called that. But no, I wanted to bring up something on our league. There are one Dutton is 6-6. I'm including him, not winning record.
Okay,
One, two, three, four, five, six teams do not have a winning record in our fantasy football league. Do you understand how hard that is in a 10-team league to have six of the 10 teams with losing or just not winning
yeah,
records?
not winning records, right?
Like it's a near impossibility because of the depth you have in a 10-person league. That's how many injuries we have this year. That
Yeah.
a 10-team league means nothing. Fee, what
And
do you think?
to be fair, really fast before Fee goes. To be fair, everybody, I'm holding on at 6-6, and I'm 25 points off the most points in the league.
Yeah, which is Fee, right?
No,
No,
Green.
it's Green, but I'm only 3 points behind
Yeah,
Green.
Oh,
So
Fee's
gotcha.
3 points. I'm
pretty good.
25 behind. But I've also had like the most points scored against me other than Benny and Puffy, but they deserve it. So there you go.
There you go. Not from us this week. Anyway, Fee, what are you thankful for?
Uh, I am thankful for Devon A. Chain, who I happened to get in the second round also, which is amazing too. I just hope that he can last the entire year. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop here and for
Knock
him to
on wood. What is wrong
I
with
know.
you?
I'm trying. Here we go. Right here. Um, and yeah, and I'm just hoping that he doesn't get injured. But he's been amazing for me, and I'm hoping that he stays that way. And the other guy that I'm thankful for is George Pickens, who I got in the seventh round of our draft, and who is the third best fantasy
Yeah.
receiver in all of the NFL.
He's definitely the number one in Dallas. It's not CD Lamb anymore. CD Lamb's dropping passes left, like
That was
catch.
a big drop. That was a big drop
And I
the
feel
other
like
day.
we've
Like
said that in like three different games this year. Like
they are
CD
lucky
Lamb,
that they won that game because if they don't win that game, all we are talking about is CD Lamb's
yeah,
drop.
yeah, and it is Pickens is the number one there. And I'm not saying CD Lamb's not a good wide receiver, but he is definitely not the number one anymore.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
by the way, I also have CeeDee Lamb because I drafted both him and Pickens in our league, which turned out to be an amazing thing for me to do.
That's also
But
why he's
but
won like 7 or 8 games in a row, and he's on this with ridiculous tear. Like
Yeah,
but when I did it,
quite a heater.
people were not happy about it. They're like, "Oh, you took Lamb and Pickens, you're on the same team. Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, he was, he's good. And
We'll see what happens.
there in the seventh round, I was like, I'll grab him, see what happens. Thank God
yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Thankful that I did.
My first guy I'm thankful for. I've been talking about since April, and you guys laugh every time I say his name, and you laugh every time I text you. Fee, say it. It's
Wandale.
Wandell Robinson. I told you he was going to be
Listen,
an elite upper tier fantasy wide receiver this year. He has the most targets and yards out of the slot out of any wide receiver in football this year.
wow.
I'm probably receptions too. I didn't see the stat on that, but at least he has the most targets.
I'm glad he's on the Giants. I'm happy he's on my team.
Yeah.
I have him on both my fantasy teams.
And then my second one, you're going to be mind blown here. It's not just that we have the Texans D on Dutton and I fantasy team, so I'm happy with it. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to take it back to what I said earlier, and all the teams are mediocre this year. I'm calling it right now because of that Texans defense. We saw what it could do. They're going to the AFC Championship game.
You're not wrong. You're not alone in saying that either.
Their
There's a lot
defense
of
is too good for the offenses and foot. There isn't an offense in the AFC that scares me enough that I don't watch a lot of football anymore, but I watch the Texans as much as I can. And there's not an offense in the AFC that scares me enough that this Texans defense, if it stays healthy, will not carry the Texans to the AFC Championship game.
Really quick, you're first of all, that's a great thing to be thankful for because they are insane. And like I texted you guys the other night, it's not only that their defense is good, I just have never seen in a long time a defense as fast to the ball as them. Like it is.
But sometimes we've talked about it; they're too fast.
Right.
And they get
It's
burned.
like,
We've
I hit
talked
the
about
brakes and it'll fly right by.
it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, James Cook has a 50-yard touchdown because everyone's already behind him, and he's all the way over here. But
But that being said, everything you said is correct. The flip side of that is that's the Packers slowly becoming that in the NFC. I mean, their defense is becoming lights out, shut down, and like
I don't think anyone's stopping the Rams. I don't.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in saying that. Like, you know, it would be an interesting matchup later on this year for sure. As that defense continues to get better and the Rams offense. I mean, the Rams offense right now, Stafford could do that in his sleep, I think. Like it's just like second nature for him.
All right. This is the biggest starts and sits of our year. Fee, we're gonna get you to start. We are your start for the Thanksgiving side dish of the year. What is your start for Thanksgiving side dish?
So not a lot of people are gonna like this very much, but it is one of my favorites. And that's mashed potatoes.
It's a solid number 2 pick in any draft.
And I also wanted to give an honorable mention to crescent rolls because I absolutely love those things. They're so good.
You need the rolls, right? And whatever roll of your choice is, whether it's a dinner roll or like one of those Hawaiian rolls, you need a roll at Thanksgiving. I agree. Dutton, I don't agree with yours. That's one of my hot takes. Go ahead.
Fine. I mean, it's okay, but my start is stuffing. I mean, you just have a solid, good stuffing. You make 2 different stuff. You make the same stuffing. You make enough of it. Some goes in the bird. Some stays out of the bird. So people don't. It's great.
What is it? What is stuffing? Stuffing looks like what a mother bird chews
it's
and
bread.
then puts into the bird's
bread
mouth.
and vegetables. And if you cook it right with some butter and some chicken broth, it's amazing.
Brooklyn loves it. I can't.
See, because Brooklyn's a smart little young woman, so she's got a good head on her shoulders.
She's over here saying, "Yes, I am." My start's a little weird because I guess
not weird for any of the 3 of us, though.
Yeah, maybe it's the Italian. I know mac and cheese is a big side dish, but we've never had that because we've always had baked ziti as a side dish. And going back to the roll, you get the ziti on the plate, and then like the sauce and the cheese is there, and you take the roll and maybe you put it on the turkey. Oh, you get everything going good. So yeah, baked ziti is my secret start Thanksgiving side dish. Let's move on to the sits. If we could pick one sit, who started last time? Dutton, we'll start with you. What is your sit?
Okay, so here's the thing. We were having this conversation pre-show. It's a side dish sit.
Yes.
But I'm going to speak on behalf of this actually happening in the Dutton household a few Thanksgivings ago. We made a family vote and we sat the turkey. I'm not sitting it for this because it's a side dish and I'm following the rules, but we literally sat the turkey and had nothing but sides, and it was one of the best Thanksgivings we've ever had. So turkey's kind of an overrated part of the meal. Like I really think like everyone has to have the turkey, but people don't go back for turkey. They go back for all the other stuff. Like you're not, you know? So anyway, but if I'm playing by the rules of the game, I'm sitting sweet potato casserole because, and again, like Wayne, you're baked ziti compared to mac and cheese and like sweet potato casserole. I really think it's like a North versus South thing. And like, you know, like, so like we didn't
Wait, do you like sweet potatoes though?
Yeah, I'm fine with a sweet potato.
It's not all like the sugar and the mallows
and
and
the casserole and the marshmallows.
Melted marshmallows on top. I don't really like it either.
No.
I do. Yeah, I do half and half because I put the marshmallows on one half because I don't like the marshmallows and gooey stuff.
See, so you're already leaving out an ingredient, like you know.
But I put them on the other half for Brooklyn because Brooklyn likes the marshmallows.
Right. So that's my sit.
Fee, interesting one, and we got to go into a little bit of detail here.
Okay, well,
it's a bad decision.
So my sit is going to be cranberry sauce. Um, and here's why. A lot of times you get like that canned cranberry that's like Jello
Yeah,
almost. It's
yeah.
like jiggly and like that sort of stuff. Okay, that thing I don't really like very much. If you have kind of like a homemade cranberry sauce, that can be very good, especially if you're putting it on the turkey,
Mhm.
where like where it gives the turkey some sort of like flavor and moistness and like a little, you know, jus, a little jus
Nice.
on top of the turkey, right?
Getting
So like
hungry.
it gives it a little extra, right? So so the turkey's not so dry and it gives it a little flavor. So that can be okay. But overall, I think that cranberry sauce is a bit overrated. I'm sitting it.
I'm on board. I could be on board. I do like the homemade. I agree with you. If you're going can, and if you go can, people, please leave the ridges in the can. Right. I want to see the can mark
It
on the
has to be
cranberry sauce.
sliced. Do not chop it up. It has to
Right.
be sliced.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what it's there for.
100%, 100%.
I'm going green bean casserole. I don't even understand why people make that.
Totally agree with
It's
you.
it's terrible. But you want to know what's funny, Dutton, is the way that you did Thanksgiving was how I used to do Boston Market. Remember, I would not buy any of the meat at Boston Market. I'm just like, give me all the sides. Like I love that was my favorite cream
And
spinach, mac and
oh,
cheese.
that's fabulous. And here's what I'm going to really quick say about Fee's cranberry sauce. Totally with you. You make the homemade, you put in an orange, you slice it up, you chop it up in the food processor, some sugar. It's fabulous. But just remember, Fee, it's an integral part of the Bobby sandwich, the cranberry sauce.
I no,
So
I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware of the
for
caffeine
everything you
stuff.
said, it's important.
Delaware's own Capriati's. We are looking for sponsorship. I know you got stores in Vegas and you got money now. There's one down here by Kennesaw State. Come on, throw us some bones.
There used to be one in Manhattan where I was, and
Yeah, mine have
they
all
closed
closed
it
too.
down. They
Yep,
closed it
mine
down,
all we had
unfortunately.
three and they all closed.
Huh.
Not happy about it, but and since we're still on it, and Dutton wanted to talk about the cranberry sauce, I just want to say a little something about the green bean casserole. Now, I don't know what kind of green bean casserole you guys have had, but there is green bean casserole that happens to be very good. I'm not saying it's one of the best or anything like that, but it is a very good side dish if it's made correctly with like the crispy onion,
The fried
Yeah, and the
onions.
cream of
fried
mushroom
onions on
soup, and
top,
it's everyone's
and
got
it's
the
like
same recipe. It's on the back of the
and
can.
it's like it's really actually pretty good. Um, but I'm okay sitting it as well, but it can be an okay side dish.
Eesh. No, I don't need it. I don't need it.
I really
I'll
want
double
our
up on the
listeners,
ziti.
I really want our listeners to respond in some capacity of what they want to start and
Yeah,
sit their Thanksgiving. Yeah, we
put
want
your
it.
Thanksgiving
And
starts in the comments.
Yeah, we want to
Uh,
hear them. Your starts and sits at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
and
yeah,
while you're at it, just hit that like button too.
yeah, and follow us. Why do I have to keep sending you people the link 6 years into this? Follow our damn podcast for crying out loud. Anyway, let's move on to actual stuff that this show's about. We're gonna go to locks of the week. We're gonna ignore everything from last week because it was our first 0 for across the all of
Terrible.
us lost last week. That's how I'm telling you, it's bad football, folks. Dutton took the Eagles, Fee took the Raiders, and Shadur came through. Of course, did you see what Dion said? To be the best, you got to beat the best. And Shador went out and beat the three-time Super Bowl champion. I'm like, they haven't won a Super Bowl this millennium.
Have they even
Let's
won a
not.
game this year? I don't know.
And then I took the Panthers on Monday night, and that didn't work out. We took the Eagles overall, so we are 8-4-12 on the season, which is still very good. Look, we're doing great. So let's Dutton, are you playing this week?
Yeah, I'm still in the process
Okay,
because
Fee, you get
both.
started,
Yep.
and
Go ahead.
let Dutton be processing.
Yes, I am taking the Eagles again this week. I don't think they lose two in a row. They're playing the Bears. They're -7. I think I had it at. I just think that their defense has been very good lately over the last couple of weeks. Um, and so, they're not going to be playing the Cowboys again like they were last week, and they're not going to have another epic collapse. They're playing the Bears. I think they cover the 7 points. I think they're going to be upset that they lost last week in epic proportions or epic fashion. And so I think they come back and beat the Bears handily this week.
I don't get the spreads this week. Like, I don't disagree with you that the Eagles could beat the Bears, but a full touchdown's a big spread for a team coming off a collapse the way the Cowboys did, and a team like the Bears who
Are in every game. They're in
are in
every
every
game.
game, and they're rolling, right? Was last week the comeback that they had, or was that 2 weeks?
Every game is a
Yeah,
comeback.
true. So I just didn't understand a lot of the spreads this week. Dutton, are you ready, or would you like me to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm taking the Cowboys +3.
That's another spread I didn't understand. So go ahead.
Both teams are coming off comeback, like huge comebacks.
Yeah.
You could argue that the Chiefs comeback saved their season.
Yep.
You could argue the Cowboys comeback kept them in, probably not saved their season, but prolonged their season a little bit longer, right?
Yeah.
I just don't understand the Chiefs being up a field goal. Cowboys
On the road too.
on the road. Cowboys on Thanksgiving. We're used to them, hyping it up. Their Chiefs defense is not as dominant as people are giving it credit for. And look, the Cowboys defense is bad, but it's actually improving, and they shut out the Eagles the entire second half. So we got to go on that, right? Like, so yeah, I don't know why the Cowboys are a full field goal underdog. So I'm taking the Cowboys +3.
I'm looking at the spreads, and ESPN lists ticket prices for sale, and you go down, it's
Yeah.
like tickets as low as 180, tickets as low as 224, tickets as low as 320, and then you go to the Jaguars Titans game, and it says tickets as low as $11. Like, wow, an NFL game is $11.
We could go to Nashville.
And you think I'm talking crap about Roger Goodell when you could buy a ticket to an NFL game for $11. Anyway, I'm going with your Miami Dolphins. Again, another spread I don't really understand. They're giving 6 to the Saints. They're home. The Dolphins are on a roll. They're coming off a bye, so they should be healthy. I know that Jalen Waddle was limited today, but I think they've been doing that maintenance with him all season. And they honestly, they're in the playoff hunt. So, like, as much as we make fun of the Dolphins, the Saints is a very winnable game, and the Saints got blown out by a Falcons team that we didn't even know half the players that were playing last week. So I'm going with the Dolphins. Who do we want to lock in?
The Dolphins are one.
Who are the Cowboys playing?
Cowboys are playing the Chiefs
On Turkey Day, obviously.
on Turkey Day. I could go with the Dolphins.
I'm scared of the 7 points, Fee. I think
I
everything
am
you
too.
said right about the Eagles, but I could see that being a field goal. Because the Bears always hang around. That's the only thing that scares
But
me.
it could also be the Bears coming back to Earth game and they get blown out by
Fair,
like 16.
fair. Fee hates the pick so much he left. Oh, there he is.
I dropped my phone.
What do you think, Bing?
This is the hardest week I think we've ever had. We're usually locked in pretty quick.
Give me a second. I just wanna. You know what? I'm fine with doing the Dolphins. We can do the Dolphins.
All right,
Okay.
we're locking in the Dolphins, giving 6 to the Aints. Gentlemen, have either of you heard from Taco?
No.
So hopefully he's safe and not on the road getting hurt. But we have no Taco on the road this week, so that means we're going to jump right into
Probably traveling for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm assuming he is. So maybe he's Taco in the skies this week. How high is Taco? Let's just jump into it. Fanduel Fee Stacks of the Week is it's the big one of the year because you're going to give us some Thanksgiving stacks as well as your main slate. So go ahead.
I am going to give you some Thanksgiving slate goodness. So let's start with that since it's first. There's two guys that are my favorite plays on the Thanksgiving slate, and it's obviously the 3-game slate. But it's Mark Andrews and it's Christian Watson. And Andrews is playing the Bengals, who have given up a zillion points to tight ends. We talked about how the Bengals defense is not good. They're not really good against anything, but they're really bad against the tight end. I think that Mark Andrews and actually Isaiah Likely as well, both put up some fantasy points this week against the Ravens, and I'm not opposed to playing both of them in one FanDuel lineup, which is kind of crazy, but it's a crazy slate Thanksgiving, so might as well go nuts with it, right? It would probably be pretty unique to have both of them on the same lineup. So I'm okay with it. And listen, one of them, if not both of them, are going to have great fantasy days. Lamar, we've talked about how he has not looked right, but he hasn't really looked right running the ball. He still throws the ball decently, and they still run the ball, and their offense is still okay. He's just not doing his running around scrambling thing.
Mhm.
And it doesn't scare me at all that he's not 100%. But I put together two lineups, and both of them have Christian Watson and Mark Andrews in them, but the rest of the lineup is different. So I'm just going to run down real quick the two lineups that I'm playing this week for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go lineup number one. I'm going with Joe Burrow coming back off that toe injury. He's 7,700. Wayne talked about how he may end up still throwing the ball 40 times this week. And if he does, I think that's a fantastic play. 7,700. He's the fifth highest salary quarterback on FanDuel. So that could be a great play. On this lineup, I'm going with Derrick Henry at 8,800, Kareem Hunt 6,400, Jamar Chase at 9,500. So you got the Burrow Chase stack. I'm going with Jamison Williams at 6,500. I think he has a bounce back week this week, coming off the goose egg that he put up last week. Christian Watson at 6,000, Mark Andrews at 5,600. I needed to save some money, so I'm throwing in Keaton Mitchell at 4,400. So yes, I'm playing two Ravens running backs, but again, a weird week, a weird slate with Thanksgiving with only three games. You got to get different. I think having two Ravens running backs could be interesting. Keaton Mitchell is only 4,400, and Justice Hill, I think is not playing.
Yeah, it
Uh,
sounds like
he
he's
was,
out.
yeah, he had a neck injury,
Yeah.
and that seems a bit scary. They said he was questionable and he was limited in practice or something like that. I don't think he plays. I think that Keaton Mitchell will get all that opportunity that he can behind Derrick Henry, so I think that's a decent play. And the Lions defense at 4,400. Lineup number two. Um, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes at 8,400. I actually don't really like this play, so I may have to change it. But I have Chase Brown in here currently at 7,200. I don't really like Chase Brown this week. David Montgomery at 6K, George Pickens, Raji Rice, Christian Watson, Mark Andrews, Xavier Worthy at 5,700. So it's a triple stack with Mahomes, with Rice and Worthy and Mahomes, and then the Lions D at 4,400.
Nice. I like him. I'm going with lineup. I'm going to put him lineup one into a tournament.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and lineup two, again, I don't really like Chase Brown. I'm gonna have to kind of mess with that one a little bit. So I'm gonna have to change that up.
Well, and then the hard part with the when I looked at the Thanksgiving slate is you go from like those $7,200 players and then it's like 4,400, right? Like there's no in between because it's so limited that you can't find those like medium level guys.
Yep.
So you're kind of stuck going with the Chase Brown.
It is a tough one. And then the main slate. Back to the main slate. There's only 9 games this week on the main slate, so that gets tight salary wise as well. Here's a few guys that I like. The one stack that I like, again, this is week 3 in a row, is Jacoby Brissett at 7,600. Still not priced up by any means. Against Tampa Bay, who is a pass funnel defense, and pairing him up with Michael Wilson again at 7,100. They've done it 2 weeks in a row now. I think this might be the last week for them. But I think this is week number 3. It's a perfect opportunity against Tampa Bay. Tampa's got a bunch of injuries. Again, they're a pass funnel defense. Arizona isn't going to be able to run the ball. Might as well go back to the well with these two guys because I don't think you're going to be able to use them in the future anyway. So this might be the last week for them, but I really like those two guys. Of course, you like Matt Stafford. He's only 8K going up against Carolina. I know the Panthers defense has been very good this year, but I think the Rams are just a juggernaut, and I don't think that they're going to be able to stop them. Jalen Waddle and Lad McConkey are the two receivers I like this week. Waddle is 7K going up against the Saints. Lad McConkey is playing the Raiders. So I like both of those guys. And the one play that I really like this week that I have not heard anybody talk about and it's like completely off the board. But this is my love for this guy. I really like Taysom Hill at tight end at 5,600, playing Miami. No Alvin Kamara. Um, and Devin Neal's the only running back you got, and he's listed as a tight end at 5,600. So he threw the ball last week. He ran the ball 10
Okay.
times last week. He caught the ball as a tight end. I just think that's just a smash spot for him. There's no other guys other than Devin Neal. He's gonna run the ball. He's gonna, who knows, he may pass the ball too. And he's gonna catch it, and he's gonna, catch the ball, whether it's out of the backfield or as a tight end. And listed as a tight end for 5,600, I think it's a smash spot for him. No one's talking about it. I think it's completely off the board, and I love the play this week.
And Neal was listed as limited and questionable with an ankle injury, so he may be all they have.
Yeah.
I did a prize picks parlay for Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to share it with you guys. It's a 4-leg parlay. Patrick Mahomes over 249.5 yards passing. I have Jamar Chase over 5.5 receptions. I have Derrick Henry with an anytime touchdown, and I have JSN. Oh, he's on Sunday, but I put him into this because I just loved it so much. JSN 94 and a half yards over receiving. I feel like that guy gets 150 yards every week, and I'm not scared of Minnesota because we are watching the worst quarterback. Guys, I sent you that stat. Since 2000, there have been 851 quarterbacks that have taken a snap, and he is ranked 850 in quarterback efficiency. Only player worse than him is Jamarcus Russell, who is constantly talked about as the largest bust in the history of football, right? He's up there. JJ McCarthy's bad. And so we're going to tell you to sit him as we head to starts and sits for this week. Last week we did kind of well. I did well, which was weird because I was sick and I didn't know research whatsoever, and I was just whipping names out of the hat. If you watched last week's show, so let's try to keep it going this week, and just let's get started. There's no buys. Of course, there's games all over the place this week. Three Thursday games, one Black Friday game, 9 you said on Sunday, and then of course the Monday night
Sunday.
game
Isn't there a Sunday night game too?
and a
Yeah,
Sunday.
Sunday
Yeah,
night. Well, that's part of Sunday.
well, so there's 10 on right, 10 on Sunday, and then the one on Monday night. So let's just get right into it. Dutton, quarterback, start. Who you got?
I'm starting Justin Herbert against the Raiders. The Raiders are just a hot mess. They made Shador Sanders become a starting quarterback in the NFL. I
And
mean,
they're the best apparently, according to Dion. If you got
Dion. I mean, those
Gotta
three,
beat,
those
in order
three
to beat
Super
the best, you
Bowls,
got to beat the best.
those three Super Bowls before 1985 are just something we have to continue to talk about. So.
the Browns have more national championships, I think, technically speaking, than the
Right, football
Raiders, right?
championship wise, yeah, for
Right?
sure.
Weren't they one of
Right,
the best teams back in the day?
yeah. If you go by NFL championships, yeah.
Yeah. Fee,
I am starting Jacoby Brissett. I just talked about him going up against Tampa Bay.
I'm going to start Bo Nix at the Commanders because the Commanders, I don't care if they're getting healthy with McLaurin looking like he's back. They're just a mess. They're a mess. And Dan Quinn keeps saying the wrong things, and it just doesn't feel like it seems like a good spot for Bo Nix. But then again, Bo Nix and the Broncos played teams like the Jets and the Giants terribly, and who knows? But that's my start. Who do we want to lock in? I love Brissett.
I do too. I mean, both of your guys are going to be my starts, so I'm fine with either.
All right, let's do Brissett. I mean, we got it. The guy scores 22 points easy with his eyes closed. Four-point touchdown league or 6-point touchdown league. Like the guy is just putting up points.
Well, it doesn't help that the Bucks defense is pretty awful right now.
Well, that certainly helps him. Fee, running back.
Starting Trevion Henderson against the New York Giants. I know that the Patriots just lost their best offensive tackle, but and guard, I think, or so, I don't know.
Yeah,
There's something
yeah.
weird going on with the Patriots offensive line, but the Giants' run defense has been atrocious, and Trevion Henderson has been very, very good. And I'm not scared about Ramondre Stevenson doing anything. I think it was a 70%, 30% split last week.
Yeah.
So I think it probably stays that way. And as bad as the Giants have been on defense, I think that Trevion Henderson really gets it done this week.
Dutton.
I'm starting Kyron Williams, get him going again this week against the Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers are just a mess. I mean, yeah, like they had a chance to go out there. Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions and the Panthers lost big.
By like 2 scores. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Kyron Williams, get him going. The Rams are going to continue to try to get him going because then they will be the most balanced and best team in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to start Jalen Warren against the Bills because I'd start anyone. I'd even start Kenneth Gainwell the way that he's catching balls out of the backfield, to be honest with you. So,
Both of them, either one of them are fine.
yeah, the Bills just can't stop a running back. Who do we want to lock in? I like all three of these guys.
I like Jalen Warren because you said it. The Bills cannot stop the run.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wide receiver, I went because until today, Rashee Rice was limited, and it scared me a little bit with the game being Thursday. They're a Thursday game, so it scared me. But it sounds like both are going to play. So I think both are good starts against the Cowboys defense. So I'm going to tell you to start Xavier Worthy. The Cowboys have obviously looked better on defense, but let's not forget they were still down 21-0 in that game before they clamped down, right? So they still have their holes. So I think Worthy and Rice are definitely good starts this week. Dutton.
Fee talked about him earlier in his Fanduel Fee segment. Jalen Waddle against the Saints.
And Fee.
Yeah, I'm starting Troy Franklin this week against that hapless Washington defense. You spoke about him with Bo Nix, so I'm starting Troy Franklin.
Who do we want to lock in? I think Waddle goes off, to be honest with you. But I'm good with any of these.
I mean, Fee talked about him too, so and I didn't even know that when I put him in. So,
all right, Dutton, we'll let you start on tight end.
yeah, only because you guys both picked them, so I'm not picking them. So I'm going to start Jake Ferguson against the Chiefs because we like to text turd to each other when he catches
Turd Ferguson.
So it'll be fun on Thanksgiving to just get random turd text on your phone.
Fee, you last week you took some guy Ferguson on the Rams.
No, that I didn't take him in starts and sits.
No,
I
in the parlay. Are we sure there's a guy named Ferguson on the Rams? Because I didn't see him once that night.
Yeah, no, there is a guy.
He just didn't do anything.
They didn't play him, and I wasn't in a parlay. I just took him for a touchdown. Just
that's what it was. Yeah, yeah,
on a whim.
Yeah. Well, Fee already talked about. We both picked the same guy. Fee already talked about it. I'm just going to add with Mark Andrews. You mentioned the Bengals are bad against the tight end. They've allowed 13 touchdowns to the tight ends. This is a Mark Andrews day.
The next worst team against the tight end has only given up 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah. It's a wide difference. So Mark Andrews is clearly the start for us. So just reviewing the 3 and out starts of the week: Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, Jalen Warren at running back, Jalen Waddle. Oh, a couple Jalen's. Waddle at wide receiver, and Jalen Andrews. We'll just call it at tight end. Mark Andrews at tight end. Let's keep rolling to the quarterback. Dutton, I'm interested in yours. Go ahead.
I'm saying the Texans quarterback because there's a chance CJ plays, or we go back to Davis Mills. But I think either one of them struggle against the Colts defense. That Colts defense is solid. I mean, they're not Texans level, but they're a good defense, and they do get takeaways. So
they definitely do.
Texans QB.
Hey.
I am sitting Brock Purdy against the Browns. While he was okay last week, he did throw 3 interceptions to the Panthers. Yeah, not 1, not 2, but 3. And now he's playing the Browns, who have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. So that's going to be interesting, but I'm going to sit Brock Purdy this week.
I mean, Myles Garrett's going to break the sack record this year, right? Like the guy's he gets like 5 sacks a game.
He's on pace for like 26 sacks this year.
I think he has 18 already.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So he only needs 4.5 more to break it.
We've talked about the Texans defense plenty of times. Danny Dimes, he really struggles under pressure, and they sacked Josh Allen 8 times. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are just too much for any. I don't care how good your offensive line is. You got to sit Danny Dimes against the Texans. And let's not forget their secondary. There's probably 3 Pro Bowlers in Stingley, Petrie at safety, and then Lassiter at the other cornerback. I mean, it's ridiculous. So Danny Dimes is my sit. Who do we want to? I'm sitting all 3 of these guys.
I
Yeah,
think
this
we.
is one of those take the under. We should
Yeah,
set
the
the
under.
under
But
and
what's our
take it.
under fantasy points
Ooh.
here?
All right, hold on. Texans quarterback is not going to get. They're the one that could have the most. They have the highest ceiling, is what I'm going to go
Against
with
these, the
there.
defense
30,
is
32 and a half? Is
I
that too
would
low?
go,
Too low?
yeah, go a little bit
maybe
higher.
30,
35 and a half. 35 and
36?
a
30,
half.
35 and a half from the three of them. Yeah, 100% take the under.
Okay,
So
so who are we locking in as our sit?
I was going to sit Brock Purdy and Feed picked him. I was going to sit Daniel Jones and you picked him.
Uh,
So, I mean, I really think Daniel Jones could get sacked 10 times. So
okay.
let's
So yeah, put
I
Daniel
think
Jones in under 35.5 combined fantasy points by that trio. Running back, Fee, who are you sitting?
I'm sitting Javante Williams against the Chiefs. I think that the Cowboys are going to have to throw the ball if they're going to have any chance to stay with the Chiefs offense here.
Done.
sitting, sorry, Brees Hall against the Falcons because who the Jets is Tyrod Taylor hurt again? Like, are we going back to Justin Fields? Like, what's happening? Like,
Aaron Glenn plays the cat and mouse game worse than anybody.
and it doesn't matter. The Falcons are not great, but their defensive front four are really good, and I don't think Brees Hall can do much against them. So I'm sitting Brees Hall.
Okay, okay. I'm sitting Rico Dowdle. Obviously, I sit any running back against the Rams. I told you that was my strategy about 6 weeks ago, and I'm sticking to it. But he's been bailed out by receptions the last couple weeks because he's been getting a lot more targets, and the Rams take those away in the flats, and I just don't see him having a big week, and I don't see him scoring a touchdown against this Rams um, defense. So who do we want to lock in? I mean, I'm good with Brees Hall because I think the Jets are just. I don't know what to make of the Jets.
I mean, but the Rico Dowdle against the Rams is solid because of
Yeah,
the
I would sit
Rams.
Dowdle.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wide receiver, I am going to start here, and I'm going to tell you to sit Jordan Addison at the Seahawks. I will never tell you to sit Justin Jefferson, but I'm telling you to sit Justin Jefferson. But JJ McCarthy, if he plays, because he did practice today, he had some first team reps, even though
Yeah,
he's.
because he had a fake concussion. I'm sorry,
And
but
it's the second time he got injured like 3 days after the game, right? Like the first time he got injured this year, they're like, yeah, JJ McCarthy's going on the IR. We're like, what? Like, he was what?
and then he
So
was in concussion protocol because of something. He said he didn't feel well on the plane. He didn't feel well because he looked like an idiot playing football.
earlier this year, that
No
when
wonder you're sick.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
he
made us
he
sick
made everybody
watching.
else sick.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Earlier this year, there was a stat before he got hurt, went on the IR, that if JJ McCarthy would have spiked the ball every down, he would have had a higher quarterback rating than he did in that game. And this weekend's game was worse than that quarterback rating. So he could have again spiked the ball every play and had a better quarterback. This is one of the worst quarterbacks we've ever seen. And you could give me, well, look how many interceptions Peyton Manning threw as a rookie.
Nope.
Yeah, he threw 20 interceptions. He also threw 28 touchdowns and like 3,400 yards.
And you saw that this was going to be okay.
But he also threw the ball like 500 times that year. Of course, you're going to throw
Right.
interceptions when you're a rookie throwing the ball
Again,
50
but you
times a
also were
game.
like, it's going to be okay when you saw him
This guy,
back.
this is some of the worst quarterback. Like he is making Jamarcus Russell look good. Anyway, Jordan Addison's my sit of the week at wide receiver. Fee, you got a whole bunch over here.
The Bears receivers, all of them, whoever they are, Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, just sit all of them against the Eagles.
Fair. And
Sure.
Dutton.
Tet McMillan against the Rams. I think we're bright. We're turning back to we're making a quick turn back to bad Bryce Young. It's coming. Like it's not looking good in Carolina.
Yeah, yeah. So who are we locking in?
Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not saying to sit Justin Jefferson, but I'm also not saying not to sit Justin Jefferson. Let's move on to tight end. Fee, you're going to go last, so Dutton, get us started.
Well, do we know who's playing quarterback for the Raiders this weekend?
No.
No, we don't even know who's calling the plays because Chip Kelly got fired.
So sit Brock Bowers against the Chargers defense.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to tell you to sit Pat Freiermuth against the Bills. I told you last week, Dalton Schultz and Davis Mills. Dalton Schultz was averaging 12 points a game, and the only thing the Bills can start is a tight end. And Dalton Schultz had one catch for 8 yards. So Freiermuth has been hot lately. He's been finding the end zone. Not this week, especially since we still don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't practiced yet this week. And Fee, who are you sitting?
I am sitting fan favorite and 3-and-out favorite sit of the week, Kyle Pitts.
Nice.
Against the New York Jets.
Yeah.
No explanation needed.
No, not at this point.
None at all.
Brock Bowers is a bold sit.
I know it is, but
I don't mind going with it to be bold, so I would lock it in.
I like the Freiermuth pick, but
yeah, I like Freiermuth against the Bills.
Okay, so lock in Freiermuth. The sits of the week reviewing is Daniel Jones at quarterback. And again, we're saying whoever starts at quarterback for the Texans, Brock Purdy, Daniel Jones, are going to go under 35.5 combined fantasy points.
Oh, God, if we pull this one off again.
We're 2 for 2 on those. We're sitting Rico Dowdle at running back. We're sitting Jordan Addison at wide. God, these are all my picks, guys. But I have been perfect, I think, the last 2 weeks on sits. So, well, okay, let's go with it. And then Freiermuth at tight end is your sit. Gentlemen, before we go and start cooking those sides that we were talking about early, anything else you want to add to the show?
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Enjoy the games, enjoy family. If you're watching the parades, see if you can see me on the TV. I'll wave.
What's this, like your 4th year in a row?
I love it. I love that Fee hits that parade every year. We get the picture of the fam outside with the parade. Don't forget to send it. And
freezing.
Is it going to be cold tomorrow? It's got to be because it's freezing down here tomorrow.
Mid 40s, so it's not terrible.
Yeah. Right.
That's not bad.
It was 76 here today, and it's going to be like 48. It's going to be 48 tomorrow.
I'm looking.
It is supposed to be windy, but as you know, I get that balcony spot. And,
you have your office perch.
From my work.
Perfect.
And I'm lucky enough to win the raffle to be able to do that 4 years in a row now. So I've been very lucky.
He's on a heater.
Yeah. So Fee played a lottery ticket for me is what I'm asking you. Anyway, go have some good turkey, watch a lot of football, get full, win money, and we're thankful for you watching yet another 3-and-out fantasy football Thanksgiving feast. We'll see you next week on 3-and-out.